Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Gail from Compassionate Koʻolaupoko, and Bella and I are here to welcome two of the most amazing men from Liliʻuokalani Trust. But just wanted to share a little bit for those of you who don't know who we are. Compassionate Koʻolaupoko is a DOE and community-based, culturally rooted, trauma-responsive initiative that started in 2019 by some very compassionate people in our community. We are guided by the wisdom of our kupuna as we do our best to cultivate well-being in our ko'olau community. Our events are currently funded through the support of the Hawaii DOE, and we are very grateful to them, as well as our past funders who got us to this point in time. So I'm going to turn this now over to Kumu Bella for her to introduce our wonderful guests.
Absolutely. Mahalo kako for being with us this afternoon. I have to say that we have been anticipating these two gentlemen for a long time, actually. So we want to mahalo them because they are so busy out in our community. So I was going to take a little bit of time to introduce the first person is Makalauna Feliciano. He is proud to reside on the west side. I just wanted to make that rhyme. Sorry, Makalauna. He is a man of many, many talents, cultural practitioner as a Kumu Hula, as well as the healing arts of Ho'oponopono. He is an author, advocate, program corrector, facilitator, Western trained social worker, Hawaiian language speaker. I can go on and all day. But basically, for us, he is a servant of our community as well as Queen Liliʻuokalani Trust. The second gentleman that you will see is Sterling Kanoa Beair. How's it? Also in service of the Queen through her trust, he has deep pilina and aloha to his mokupuni of Molokaʻi. He is a retired combat veteran who is well-traveled around the world, but again, returns home to Hawaii and Molokaʻi. He has also dedicated his life to the practice of healing through Hawaiian ways of la'au lapa'au, lomi lomi, ho'oponopono. And so the both of these gentlemen are really inspirational in the work that they're doing, specifically with Kāne and our kanaka ʻŌiwi Kāne. And so with no further ado, we want to turn over the time and mahalo, Makalauna, and Sterling. Mahalo.
Hey, mahalo. I'll go ahead and share my screen now real quick, gang. Okay.
We begin, we're going to start with a vehena, and some of you who know a lot of practices in Hawaiian works and Hawaiian workshops. So just things mea Hawaii, we do have a vehena opening. So we'll do an opening at this time. Those that would like to join us, they can do so. And that would be eho mai. If you would like to go along and chant with us, you can do that. And then I'm going to continue on the protocol, and then we'll begin. You can put on the slide so those that don't know, they can follow along. And the eho mai, just to let everyone know if you're not familiar. And those that are familiar, you know why it's a call for inspiration and ike. And we wanted those, yeah, we can't see it. Is it on? Can't see it.
You try again.
Oh, there we go. Yep. They said it's good.
It was working.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we got him. We can see him.
Okay.
O mai gai mai luna mai o na me au na nui o na mele o mai ho mai ho mai ho mai gai mai luna mai o na me au na nui o na mele ho mai ho mai ho mai mai gai mai luna mai o na mea huna no ia o na mele ho mai ho mai ho mai kane ho alani kane ho alani aloha kaua. Kau ko ku hoʻokahi hele I te alalo aloha kamaku ku kapa kawahine. He waini lohi au na I kamakani he makani lohi au ha upu mai o loko e. Kane hoʻalani aloha kaua. Kau ko ku hoʻokahi hele I te alalo aloha kamaku ku kapa kawahine. He wahine lohi au na kamakani he makani lohi au ha mai o loko e. E ka ulani nui o nei au puni e. He puanani o e a ta la hui e a e. Me o e a mauloa ke aloha o ia I o e. He aloha wale. Ko ka mamo e nā makamaila e.
Okay, mahalo maka. Thank you so much for that beautiful opening protocol. Gang, we're gonna get into our ho'olauna. And in this circle, there's something that we like to do to get in tune with our boys and with our people here in our spaces. And we're gonna ask you to do what we call an aloha circle. So you're gonna bring your name. Who are you? What about where are you from? What place you bring? Okay? It could be any place that's special to you. What place you bring to this space today? And who do you bring with you today? Okay, so that's gonna be your name, place, and your person. Would sound like this. Aloha, Sterling Kanoa Beair. The place that I bring with me today is Kālaʻi Molokaʻi, the Ahupua'a Pala'au. And what I bring with me today is my tutu Kāne. And so we want you to go ahead and take these three things, put it in the chat. We want to see you guys' introductions there, your ho'olauna there. So please jump in that chat box and join us with this aloha circle.
Normally, when we sharing it in person, we have you speak to those around you. But since we don't, we'd love you to throw it in your in the chat box and name, place, and who you bring today in your circle. In this circle.
An important part of to do with our boys and our kids, yeah, to remember that we're not just coming by ourselves. Doesn't happen in a vacuum. We come with all our kupuna, our places, and these things. Yeah. So mahalo. As you guys are checking in, I'm going to turn it back over to Maka to talk about our vehikiala, our mission at LT, Liliʻuokalani Trust.
Yeah, before I go into that, but as you can leave it on that screen, I did want to share a little bit about our queen, just to let everybody know, if you do not know of her, she was born here, right, September 2nd, 1838, and there's many names that she go by, and Liria, Liliʻu, Loloku, Walania, Bebehi, Kamakaʻeha, Kaʻonalani, Taki, and her parents, her biological parents was Kapa'ake and Analea Kiohoka Lole, but her other parents were Abno Kuho'ohei He Pahupaki and Chiefess Laura Kanahola Puani. And that was important just to know that she was Kamehameha first. Not a lot of people remember that, and they just go, "Oh, she's a no." When you hanai, you hanai. So she was a Kamehameha. So why wouldn't she have the throne for her? If you go by Hawaiian customs, hanai, yes, she was a direct descendant, because that was the practice. And in her story, she said she knew no other until after her parents died, and then she found out of her biological parents. Just to let everybody know that story. And a lot of times people don't share that story about her. She, as we all know, wrote many songs in the hundreds, a couple of hundred, they say. And she started at an early age, learning a lot about different things, music of importance to her. Our queen was a beautiful poet, songwriter. She played different music instruments, and she was an advocate for political sovereignty and social justice. So before there was a Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, there was a beautiful Hawaiian lady in the middle of the Pacific advocating for her people, and that was our queen, Liliʻuokalani. Her greatest gift she gave to us was her trust. In 1909, she had a trust and a will created for the benefits as to be used by the trustees for the benefit of orphan and destitute children of Hawaii to Hawaii Islands, preference given to pure or part blood. You know, one of her famous sayings is, "I could not turn back the time of political change because there is still time to save our heritage. You must remember, never cease to act because you feel you may fail." Now on Keala, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to fulfill that which she gave us to do, and that is, you know, creating Nakamale Lupa Lupa, thriving Hawaiian children. So this is our strategic vision from now to 2045. And that is to create more thriving Hawaiian children, and thus creating a better thriving community and thriving Hawaii. We have some programs that we are working on currently in this early childhood, youth development, and opportunity youth services. We also have our social service team at Liliʻuokalani Trust, which plays a crucial role in providing support and resources for Native Hawaiian children and families, helping to ensure their well-being and culture identity. Our work collectively embody the trust commitment to the welfare of our Hawaiian children who, as we say here, e nā kamale lupa lupa. Next, Kanoa will share some energy moving mana.
Yes, we will. And I got to jump in the chat here for a second while Maka was sharing about our queen. And I just want to aloha. We both want to aloha you and all your ancestors and kupuna that you've brought into this space and all your cherished places in Wahipana. So mahalo. Okay, next, what we're going to do is some breathing. Okay, so I'll shut off my camera here. And then we're going to do a specific style of breathing. Okay, this is going to be our guttural, deep, heavy breath work. Now, if you feel moved to, you're going to go ahead and join me. You stand up. We all know that hanu aku, hanu mai, calms the body. Hanu aku, hanu mai. Feels good, yeah, peaceful, yeah. We're gonna try a different kind of breathing. Our Lua folks out there might know this kind of breathing, and this is to raise your energy in the opposite direction. Yeah, I like to invite my son into this space. Kuil, it's my son right there. That's my boy. And he's gonna join you with this breathing. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna stand up, and it's called moko moko. You're gonna ʻaha down low, yeah. You keep your back straight. We're gonna sit down with our legs bent. Yeah, no pokeo kole out. That's a different show. This one is this one like this. Yeah, and when we breathe in, we can kind of emulate like Kamapua'a, you know, Kamapua'a's in his pig form. He's by the water. He's bathing himself. Yeah, he's washing himself. So our movements go like this. Aiha alo. We invite all our puna. They sit on perch down on us, and the breath work sound like this. Sound like hey. 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 Keep going. Let the energy rise. Kawa. Little faster. Faster. Come on. You guys feel it? Feel that sizzle. You kind of feel a warmth in your chest, feel the blood going to your head. You feel a little, how you feeling? So a little hostile, huh? Little agile, maybe a little virile. There's some of you guys on screen feeling a little fertile. Then we got some kupunas feeling a little senile. But this energy that we're here to talk about, this energy that rises up in the body, you feel it, blood's pumping. It's that kumana. It's a kumana that our boys feel when they're in fight or flight, stressed out. This is energy that helps us to build, helps us to take apart. So now we're gonna try a different type of breathing. And sit down, get into a comfortable space. If you still feel that blood pumping in your body, notice it and how our breath work moves it. Yeah. So I'm gonna say, Anumai, you breathe in through your nose. Anuaku. Ready? Anumai. Anuaku. Anumai. Anuaku. Anumai. And Hanu. You feel it leaving the body. This energy play that we move with our breath work, with our ha. We're going to speak to this energy, that kumana. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this and remember that feeling in your body, because this is the feeling that our boys have. And so what do they do with this kind of energy? This mana, right? Sometimes there's a misplacement of this ku energy. Maybe they don't know what to do with it. Maybe they don't know where to put it or how to move it aside, like we just did. We can feel it in our bodies coursing through their veins. Maybe they're at school getting bullied. Maybe they don't have a role model. Maybe they don't know their culture and disconnected. Yeah, this kumana is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful Kāne energy, used to build great things and move forward with momentum. But what happens when we're disconnected from Aina culture? Yeah, our role models, ike kupuna. Then what happens? Well, let's look at some of these statistics. Okay, let's kick some statistics and numbers. Hawaiian boys, overrepresented in truancy. 38% of truancy that happens out there, Hawaiian Kāne. Why? Substance use, leading the pack, 39%, Hawaiian. Why? Violence. All kids that have fought in the past year, Hawaiian children, kanaka, make up 39% of that, the largest group. The next group following at 31%. Judicial involvement, still leading the pack, Hawaiian Kāne, ʻŌpio Kāne, 25%. Homelessness, Hawaiians represent 13%. Hawaiian young men represent 13%. That's double the next ethnic group. Welfare, 46%. Yeah, and so single parent homes. For our single parent homes here across Waiʻanae, 43% Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, followed next by white children or white families, 28%, and then followed by Asian, 24%. 43, 28, 24. And suicide. Yeah. And so as a result of our forced land transactions, colonization, these above statistics that I just mentioned, Hawaiians have the least amount of land ownership in the history of Hawaii at this time. So what does this all mean? What's happening with this misplacement of energy? I'm gonna turn it over to Maka to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Just briefly, there was a collapse of our Kauahi system. Kauahi were our home. Within a home, there was a multitude of hale that had functions that promoted responsibilities, the way of living, how they did certain works regarding kulana and kuleana. And in that space, the different responsibilities were created to create more stability. There's more permanency within the whole ohana. Now with colonization, there came that collapse, that breaking. Imagine you taking away the responsibilities of boys and men. You take away one's ali'i. You take away their queen. You take away Queen Liliʻuokalani. You take away one's land. You take away one's country. You ban and make it illegal to do Hawaiian practices, medicine, healing, indigenous practices like hula, craft building, different skills. You ban rites of passages for boys and men. You ban and make it illegal to even speak your own language in your own country. You further take away something that we don't even talk about. You take away boys and men a chance for redemption. What do you do? What do you have? What do you have when you do that? You have cultural confusion. You have arrogance. You have false sense of pride. This culture confusion, not to say anything, but there's our kids start listening to rap, and this is a famous person, 21 Savage, some people might know, but these are the type of things they hear. They blasting their radios and listening in the ear, and you listen at the words every day, you hear it every day. Guess what? Some of the behaviors just will start to manifest itself. It's tough because our Hawaiian children had to assimilate into the Western culture norms, to the American education system that emphasizes individualism and celebrates rewards on autonomy. But many of our practices are kako, that we do it together and we uplift many of those around us. This environmental degradation, such as the loss of our reefs, our coral ecosystem, which had profound impacts on our culture and spiritual practices amongst our children, amongst our Hawaiian children in Hawaii. And without these systems or this ecosystem in place, our children's arena to live and practice, such as how to cook, grow food, gather food responsibly, becomes small, liʻiliʻi, very finite. Their relationship with land and food is left breathless, without without spirit. So these things, just Hawaiians are faced with many issues, but this not only for our boys, Hawaiian boys, not only for our men and boys, but men in general are facing these new trends. You can see it on TikTok and YouTube, where it says, we don't need you. We don't want you. You are useless.
Next slide.
Yep.
You guys might have seen this trend here going on.
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Do we need men, in your opinion?
No. Because they do nothing all day.
Do we need men?
Like, they just sit there.
Do we need men, in your opinion?
No, because they're icky.
It's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women? Most of them said yes. So why do you think that is? Because men are useless.
That's a reminder for men that scientists can now discover a way for women to impregnate themselves using their own bone marrow. And the only child that can result from those pregnancies is female. So we no longer have any need for you genetically or physically. So, slightly.
It's a shocking number, by the way. We've been asking all day, and here the poll results are in. Do women really need men? And 40% of you said yes.
So when we look at this, yeah, this is what they see. This is what our boys see. This is what men see. This is what's happening right now. The impact it can have on boys and men, this emotional impact of feeling disvalued, unimportant, as if their contribution and presence are not needed or appreciated by women. They will start to develop identity issues. This statement can create confusion about their kulana, their role, or their kuleana, their purposes in relationships, in society, potential leading to feelings of inadequacy, uncertainty about who they are as a boy or becoming a man. There's relationship dynamics that happen. It can impact on how the boys and men view their relationships, leading to mistrust, resentment towards women, the potentially affecting their ability to form healthy, balanced relationships for the future. There's societal perceptions that reinforce negative stereotypes about men and women, perpetuating harmful gender norms, a division, which is for many of us ʻaʻolipono, not right, not balance. And then as they internalize the message, they question their worth and tied to their utility to the wahine, the female, leading to issues of self-esteem and self-worth. So overall, it's important to promote, what we try to do is promote mutual respect, understanding, and the equality between the genders, rather than ones of imply one gender is superior or unnecessary to the other. I'm gonna have him play another slide, and you're gonna hear it from a kanaka, a Hawaiian. His name is Beair. He passed away a couple years back, but this is at a gathering where there were about almost 900 to 1,000 men present, and these are Hawaiian men listening to this, and boys in the crowd.
So I grew up with all this shame, with all this anger. And I never understand about kuleana, my responsibilities, right? Because everybody else's fault. And I start getting angry. And like when people raise animal, how you raise the animal is how the animal become, right? You like nice, right? You like them attack, you attack. You know, you shame, you angry, you start acting shame and angry. You know? So I start acting more shamed and more angry. Next thing I know, I start getting locked up. I never harvest, I didn't get caught in green harvest. Lock up. We're not a Hawaiian statistic, yeah? We're not a Hawaiian brother in jail. But the only choice you get is every day one slot open on a door. Oil, doko juice. And one brother went, take me to UH bro. 19 years old, no more future, no more hope. And I can get into this Hawaiian Leadership Development Program. What was that, bro? But I didn't get for here one brother when come to my class and talk to me. Pali kapu deadman. Staying here. I like to say mahalo to Pali. Because I didn't realize that can. That's what I have to say, can. And after that, I never gave up. For the first time, I was proud to be Hawaiian. I went go home, ask my mother. So, tell my mother, Mom, how come only now I'm learning about who I am and what I am? And my mother told me, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not telling you earlier. I said, how come you never? Come daddy never. She said, I was scared you was going to grow up angry, more angry, and get in more trouble. I said, why? She said, son, because I see your uncles, I see your father, and you cannot be Hawaiian, know your history, and not be angry. So I knew in your own way and on your own time, you was going to find out. And I'm glad you found out now. Because my father, I would tell him, Daddy, my father never showed me how to do nothing but drink, stay up 3 days, and tell jokes. And that's okay. You know, that's what I do. Still yet. No. Remember, I asked my father that, Dad, well, you know what, show me how to throw net or anything. He said, well, boy, are you looking at how to throw net? Grab the middle of the net and swing. The secret is in how you let them go. I knew my father was lying already. But what are we talking about, huh? Kapokihi, kahale. Right? That's what we're talking about, huh? I'd like to say mahalo. This feels awesome, man. This is like our Hawaiian Million Man March this weekend. You know? All the brothers getting together, sharing our mana'o. We get Voyagers, we get Lua, we get our covers. Yeah? We cannot let other people define us. We gotta define ourselves. Talking earlier, we don't need to be political. We don't need to talk about what separates us. We gotta talk about what brings us together. And we cannot be the men we need to be unless we take care of ourselves first. Yeah? That's what I'm talking about. It's not about our kids, about our wives, about our ohana. It's about us, the foundation. Yeah? When we look at statistics, and the Department of Health show that of all those seeking treatment for methamphetamine in the state of Hawaii, 49.5% Native Hawaiian. The next ethnic group is Caucasian, 14%. After that, everybody else. How come? When we look at prison incarceration, 89% of those in prison, Kāne. And most of those in prison is the Hawaiian Kāne. How come? When we find out abuse and neglect, beating, licking, burning, ignoring, letting them live in terrible, desperate conditions, our children, look at the Hawaiian Kāne. Domestic violence, licking your wahine, pushing, shoving, pressing your wahine, Hawaiian Kāne. How come? What will happen to us that we do that we act like that? I'm not one conspiracy theorist, but if you wanted to destroy the Hawaiian race, somebody did a good job. Somebody said, hey, broke the Hawaiian Kāne. Then you broke the Hawaiian family. That way, no more lahui. Don't talk to me about sovereignty, self-determination, and self-governance when you cannot even take care of your home. Right? How do you have a healthy Hawaiian nation? You need one healthy Hawaiian family, and you need one healthy Hawaiian brother. Right? If the brother, if the brother wake up every day and he work hard, roll up his sleeve, no make excuse, no point finger, take responsibility and honor. The keiki gonna see that. And what the keiki gonna do? He gonna wake up every day, be honest, talk straight, talk simple, roll up his sleeve, work hard. The Hawaiian Kāne wake up every day and he respect himself. That means he gonna respect everybody else. If he respect everybody else, now he's spreading. Now everybody gonna respect their land and their aina, right? And now we can preserve for the future what we was privileged to enjoy in the past.
Okay, aloha everybody. So again, as we see the collapse of the kauhale, collapse of the halimua, the loss of culture, identity, we see a growing problem here with our young men and boys. And now what we want to do right now, though, we want to look inside ourselves real quick one. So we're going to run one quick activity. This is our Waiʻanae activity. So our values activity. And up here on the screen, you're going to see different values. And what we want you to do is go ahead and take out your phone. Okay. Take a kelapono, go to your camera, and you're going to go ahead and just hold it over this QR code here. You're going to see a little yellow bubble pop up. It's going to say menti.com. And what we want you to do is on your phone, looking at this screen, we want you to choose one characteristic that resonates with you the most, and then you're going to press submit. So we're going to give everyone just a second. Everybody have their word? Maybe a little bit more time to read. Okay, and we understand might have many characteristics that could fit for you, but just try to choose the one that resonates with you the most. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this screen real quick, and I wanna see what everyone's putting here. So let's see. Okay. Look what we got here, Maka. I'll move my computer down here.
My Kaʻi, good.
Okay, everyone's getting in the words. And if you guys have never done Mentimeter word bubble, the word that more people vote for gets bigger. So right now we got a lot of aloha in the room. Okay, I see malama, love, ahonui. Right?
Yeah. Keep going. You can keep going from the list
Keep
that
going.
showed whichever one of those words resonated with you.
Okay. I'm gonna hop back onto my my PowerPoint here. Let's see. Aloha kuleana. Okay. Malo, thank you for joining us for our Waiʻanae activity. Now for our next slide, for those of you, you guys can see the screen. Maka, my screen is up.
You see, yep, your screen. Gotta go to the next slide.
Let's go to the next slide. 1 second. Here we are. Okay, next slide. So if you guys had a word or a characteristic or a value that you see here on the left side of the screen, okay, starting with ahonui, going down to pono, 1 through 12, those are hina values. Yeah, those are our hina, more feminine, more supportive, nurturing values. Yeah. And if you had a value that was somewhere on the right side here, koa, from courage down to kolohe, clever. Kolohe, good thing, Kolohe is a Hawaiian. That doesn't just mean troublemaker. Hawaiians love their kolohe folks. It's good fun hanging out with the kolohe ones. And this set on the right side, these are all of our ku attributes. Yeah, hina, left hand. Ku, right hand. And oftentimes we may notice that whether it be the world that we're becoming more indoctrinated in, the ku values show up a little bit less, and the hina values show up a little bit more often. Now, the ku values are just as important, right? And the areas where our boys can find healing sometimes might be lacking in these values. So we wanted to run this activity, which is one, so you can learn a little bit about yourself and your practice and where you move. And yeah, next we're gonna move on to, so we went over the problems and what we see. Next, we're gonna move into the halemua. Yeah, and I'm gonna pass it right back to Maka. We're gonna talk a little bit about what we do, what we created with Hoʻokanaka.
So the reason why, just to reiterate on the activity on Waiʻanae, was many times we do a lot of our teachings and we only work on the hina side. That's what he was saying. On the hina side, this side, the ku side standing straight up, sometimes are forgotten amongst our boys. And it's just that we practice enough to help them harness the energy, like what we did in our breathing exercise. When you're getting to that breathing, that new breathing, we need to know how to channel those energies, right? So they can harness the energies, and instead of just not knowing where to place it, we can focus them on a certain sport, hula, ʻaha, lawaiʻa, fishing, things of that sort. And it brings us up to the halemua and the understanding of the halemua. So, I mean, just saying it to yourself, how many of you had positive role models in your life? And how many had negative male role models in your life? Not to say anything regarding, I had a challenging time because like many, I came from a broken home. So my dad was in prison, and my mom divorced him. So he wasn't a really good role model. So I had to seek out a role model somewhere else, if not in my family. Where? And we talked about hale, the kauhale. So there was one place called the Halemua. And this was one of the first former institute of Hawaiian integration, intergenerational learning. And learning from elders Kupuna, Kāne, and Makua Kāne within the Halemua. And they were entered into this quote unquote space. They were actually entered in through a Ka'imua ritual. Not sure if many know what is a Ka'imua, but before the Ka'imua, the youth or the boys were called leva leva. They never have malo yet. So their time and learning is with their mama. They're in the leva leva stage. So they stay with mama, they stay with kupuna, they stay learning on those things. But as we move forward in the Ka'imua, now there's responsibility. Now actually the boys learn and get to wear a malo. Right, they're thrusted forward. Ka'imua, tulale. And this is where the men held counsel for matters of the spirit, matters of intellect, matters of things that is on the world, the physical world, group specialization on male activities within Hawaiian practices, way of life, from past, what's present, and as they're preparing for the future. This is all done during that space. The Halemua for our boys and men provided an answer to a lot of the challenges that many face and boys face. And today in our mua, what they face. And in that space, the transferring of knowledge and spiritual connection is practice. The practice of ho'olono. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. You guys might have heard of ho'olohe. Ho'olohe is to listen, but ho'olono is to listen with all senses. So not only with your eyes, you observing with your ear, taste, feel, touch, but also what is in your na'au, deep inside you. That which speaks to you is also that part that is sometimes lost. Inside that space of the mua, there are rules and there is kapu. So the understanding that there's laws, there's certain ranks, there's something higher than me. There's akua, na'armakua, nakini akua, and those that we highly respect. And in that understanding, you start to have boys understand that in their life, they're not the top of the triangle. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Lokahi triangle, like this. But that's where akua and amakua, those that are like spiritual guidance, is up on the top. And then you have kanaka over here, and then you have aina over here. Those are all important in development and learning. When you take away one, a lot of times it's that spiritual guidance space. Then guess who takes that space? A lot of times it's the kanaka. And you know, without guidance and the breaking of the systems, then we get into other things, arrogance, ego, and we'll talk more about that. So we kanaka, or men, take our boys into places where we can plant, we can teach them what to take care of and what is important for us, how we take care of the land and how our relationship is important. So it doesn't become very transactional. It's relational in all those different areas. That is important. Teach them the right way to fish, how to fish, the importance. We're not taking more than we need. Basic foundational character building. Teach them about family, about kupuna, and the things that were taught to us that we can share with them, so they don't have to repeat certain mistakes, but then understand, oh, with this ike, I can make decisions for the future. That is better with the ike that was taught to me, the knowledge. Build on this foundation is important. And we want to teach our boys how to thrive within the 21st century. Access to all kinds of art, technology, science, economics. So kind of the purpose of what we're doing is how to harness their kumana and teaching our young boys how to embrace it, channel it, redirect it into purposeful and productive ways. So we're going to go to this Olelo no Eao. Hoʻokanaka. It's by Tutu Pukui or Dr. Mary Kavelan Pukui. This is Olelo no Eao 290 and Olelo no Eao 457. And Hoʻokanaka urges individuals to embody the qualities of a man, emphasizing the importance of behaving with courage, strength, honor. The hana ike hana kaivia kanaka makua laila ho'ohua suggests that becoming a respected and honorable member of your kaiaulu, your community, requires personal growth, overcoming all the challenges, likening to the process to growing your bones to manhood, taking that responsibilities, that kulana, the role, before taking any significant challenges. So we're going to start with this, what we call difference between Kāne and Kanaka, just to let everybody know. So there is small ke, Kāne, boy. Big ke, Kanaka. Okay, so the first one, I was taught these by former Judge Thomas Kukui. And so we have this that calls the 3 Fs. And this way many of our boys and men that act like boys or act like men but are actually boys are. So the first F is, it starts with an F and end with a K. And you can, however you want to think, that's a lot of testosterone and a lot of things that come out. And kind of like, and I know what you guys think. But instead of saying that word, I'll use the word F-A-R-K, FARK. Okay? So I'll just say fooling around. And at this stage, it involves the behavior of the boy, or the carefree and playful, often engaging in different type of activities, which without any consequences at all. It's the stage that they go, oh yeah, like do they, they're just being irresponsible, right? You know, if you see female that approach, then your hormonal instincts, the animalistic instincts come into play. Okay. And you know, many of our men in prison, when we shared this with them, they understood what we're saying, because some of them were behaving in such way. They had that attitude, that behavior, that understanding, right, of that type of attitude that represents the small K, immaturity. Next is food. So food kind of focus on one's personal need. Where's my food? You don't have any Kanes out there. Because I remember my uncle come home from work. He used to tell my auntie, "Where's my food? I was working all day." Right? But that also means, where's my satisfaction? I like my own drug. I'm gonna put them inside my arm. That's where you're looking at no other consequences. You just wanna immediate satisfaction to your own personal desire. Self-centered, stage focused on personal own gratification. That's the food mentality. When a dog come in a room and oh yeah, they like eat the food, right? And the last one, fight. And the fight is that I live on Waiʻanae. There's a lot of testosterone, a lot of ego out here. So what you looking at? What? You like Joe? You're speaking those type of language, like you like fight. Let's go outside and quote unquote beef. We see that going around. Just like when animalistic instinct. I like food. Wait, first, I like fool around. Where's that like a dog in heat? Where's my food afterwards? And if another dog come in my space, I like fight them. Well, we have another form of F's called fatherhood, family. And that speaks of changing the first F. So what is the responsibilities of that we need to bring up boys to become great fathers? Boys to look at family. That's the importance. And teaching them those responsibilities is important. What are those that will help move them in that direction? Because now, when you go into that relationship, you're not thinking of the first F. Now, if I go into a relationship, am I ready to be a father and carry the responsibilities? And if not, what I need to do to protect myself and those around me, as well as honor the sacred space of a wahine. Because they have a sacred space. And we shouldn't be just thinking that it's not. And that's what we teach with our boys. Next, from food, it becomes feed. That understanding is to provide for others. It's the kako mentality where, yep, I'm going to give out. And my tongue goes to me, but feed is I'm looking at everyone. I'm not forgetting also I'm in that kokua because when I give, I will receive. Focusing not on personal needs like the food and injection and my self-gratification, but contributing to the well-being of others, to my family, to my children, to those around me. Nourish. Not only physical, but emotional as well. Last, from fight, it's fend. And that fend meaning I'm not throwing the first cracks. I'm not trying to, anybody come in my space, I'm going to want to fight them. Is preparing yourself. We call it hoʻomakaukou. For all the spears and arrows that get thrown at you regarding you and stupid Hawaiian. You stupid boy. You're not good enough, boy. You're not going to be, you're going to be just like the other ones. All those arrows of attack, you can fend against them. In order to fend those arrows, you got to practice and prepare yourself. And we help the kids prepare themselves, give them the tools to fend against the attacks that continually challenge them daily. Try to learn these techniques to improve themselves, build themselves so they can be prepared for those attacks and fend against it. So the fend is not only for themselves, but it speaks of more. Later on, it can be for your nation, your family, but that's the concept of it. Now, how do you bridge that big gap? To bridge that gap, grow up. You have to gain experience. You have to accept responsibility be accountable regarding kulana and kuleana, your roles within your family and the ability to respond within your family. Now, this kuleana is not duties and responsibilities. The kuleana is I'm doing the things that I do to build my relationship for those that I'm doing the responsibility for. That's the true kuleana. That's the essence and not the form of kuleana. In order to do all of those, you have to practice, practice, practice. And that's what we tell the boys. It's a daily practice because even us, we get men that still act in the small K, but we need them to act in a big K to become kanaka. And we get some boys that's small K, there's boys, but they're doing attributes of kanaka, big K, the one on the right side, which is the cool essence. I'll turn. All right. Okay, Kanoa.
Okay, mahalo Maka. So Maka got to go over the 3 Fs, how we work with the boys from switching their mindsets. Yeah, and we also, one thing that, and this comes to from Tamiko Ulukukui, that we practice is the leadership of our 6 Cs, yeah? A lot of our kids before they had a mentor, they didn't really learn leadership. They didn't have any Cs, maybe CWS, CFS was the only Cs that they had then, but in our Hoʻokanaka program, we try to teach them leadership using the 6 Cs. And I'll show you exactly what this kind of looks like. Here's my son again, all right? And he's gonna help me with the activity here, which he has never done before. So this is gonna be live and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. So the first C that we go over, you guys, is courage. Now I want everyone to go like this. When I say courage, put your hand on the table, son. When I say courage, you go ko. Ko. Okay? It's courage. Ko. Oh, courage. Oh, all right. You're not doing the, you're not doing the, what they call it, California howdy. No, this is, stick the finger. This is palikuo na ko'ola. You're tall, strong like the mountain, courageous, koa. Courage, koa, koa. All right. So how do we practice courage, koa? How do we teach our kids to gain courage? Different activities. And this is one that we're going to do today. So requires trust, where we might have, we might have one of our young men there. And his friend is going to be guiding him. And so we'll take his cell phone, okay? This is your cell phone. You guys can see the cable. Let's try that. Better. Stop share. That's better. Okay. So here's our activity. So I want you to close your eyes. You stick your hand straight out in front of you. Okay, you're just going to let me guide you, okay? We're going to try and get your hand off of the phone, okay? Lower, stop, to the right a little bit, stop, too far, a little bit to the left, lower, lower, hover, go down all the way hard. Okay, we made it to the phone. That didn't require much courage, but required a little bit of trust on his behalf with me. So let's introduce something that he's unaware of that might require a little courage. So what we have here, what we have here is a rat trap. Okay. We have here is a little rat trap. Load the rat trap without busting up my finger. And we're gonna practice a little courage here. How you feeling, son?
A little nervous.
A little nervous? Okay. And instead of a telephone, we'll put this little trap right there. Let's see what happens. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's our guy right there. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you close your eyes. Anuha. Did you see the size of that rat trap? Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and put your hand straight out in front of you, up in the air, and just let me guide you. Okay? You move your hand a little bit to the right. Stop. A little bit forward. A little bit more to the right. A little bit left. Slowly down. A little bit to the right. How you feeling?
A little nervous.
A little bit more down. Slow. Down all the way hard. Hold it. Okay, so now my son has an activated rat trap in his hand. How you feeling?
A little more nervous.
A little more nervous, right? Because he knows that if he moves his hand just a little bit, okay, the thing's gonna catch his finger and ʻawi. Are you feeling a little scared?
Yeah.
You think that you might need a little something? Do you remember our hand movement?
Yeah.
You remember what I say? You know what to do? Courage, go! Woo!
Yay. So he never did that activity. Why did you guys see it live?
So at the moment that your hand had engaged the trap and you knew, oh, I'm stuck, you got a little nervous. And it's something scary. And this kind of thing happens in the lives of our young men, right? Whether it's something at school or family issues, there become these moments where we might get stuck. We don't know which way to go. And so in Hoʻokanaka, everyone's giving you great praise. In Hoʻokanaka, we try to create these little opportunities where we can create these microcosms where our boys can practice, exercise these 5 C's. Let's get back to these 5 C's. Oh, courage. Okay, kalamai, let me get my slide back on. Oh, kalamai. Are we back up?
Yes.
We're good. Okay, so we've got courage. Cool. Another thing that we like to teach the boys is commitment. Kupaʻa, onipaʻa. Now, this is something that we do every day. We'll take the boys out and we'll exercise. First thing in the morning, we'll make them sweat. We like to push them to their limit, physically, mentally, and emotionally. One, to test their commitment, but even more importantly, to show them that they have the strength, not just as an individual, but as a group of men, to continue to push each other through. This is where sometimes we make those corrections with our Kāne when they re-emulate this harmful language. Maybe one of them isn't doing the exercises right, and they might yell at them, hey, come on, don't be weak, ba, don't be. Instead, we start to shift that live and in the moment. Commit to each other, commit to what we're doing, commit to your lahui. And you know, how are you gonna lift up your brother? I never seen a plant grow by somebody yelling at it and beating it up. Never seen that plant grow like that. But when you water it, give it sun, nurture that plant can grow. So when we take these boys out, we exercise them in the mornings, and it's not just exercise. We put them all through a whole range of different activities, which will test and stress their commitment and allow them to kupaʻa, onipa, competency. And this is another C that we like to exercise with whether we're teaching them how to tie the lashing onto a sailing ship or their ocean knots or fishing knots, or we're teaching them how to design their spear, the ʻihe, and what areas to strike on somebody. Or sometimes maybe we teach them how to make their o'o. And how do you dig with the o'o? How do you strike the earth and plant the seed? Competency happens when we build and practice, and we makaukau, we noʻeau. We work with our hands. So once a child is starting, not that child, but once the ʻŌpio Kāne is starting to feel courage, they recognize their commitment. They're feeling competent in the skills and things that they do. Slowly shifts are starting to happen in the halemua. Slowly shifts are happening in the boys, right? Compatibility, aloha. We get a lot of boys together. Some folks say they're at-risk youth. I don't like that word. I don't know what risk isn't at. I don't know what youth isn't at risk, right? But we get these boys together. Sometimes testosterone, they beat their chest at each other. We need to learn how to be compatible. How do we work together? Yeah, and these are systems that we implement by teaching them cooking or building, yeah, catching their food, you know, serving others, compatibility. Or even if it's just not you and somebody else, to step into leadership would be to identify the things, maybe get pilikia inside your group. How do you move forward in that? We may teach you how to tie knots physically, fishing knots, but we also need to teach you how to untie the knots, the hihia within ourselves, the emotion, the spiritual things, our shame, hila. Yeah. So we learn compatibility this way. After our boys develop courage, commitment, competency, and compatibility, they develop character. Yeah, they start to understand and develop pono. And you see that come across in the way that they start reacting to each other, serving the community, right? And lastly, all of these things come together and they build within our young men a confident kanaka. Yeah, not false confidence, not arrogance, not beating your chest anymore, but true confidence. Haulele. You're ready, you're prepared. So this is how we apply the 6 C's. Again, I want to mahalo my son for showing you how we do courage, and we'll do these activities with the boys to allow them to develop their leadership 6 C's. In this next slide, I'd like to share with you a video of Kiaʻi ʻŌiwi Hoʻokanaka.
What really brought me here was to understand who I am, pretty much just to see where am my place in this world or in this community. As being an Hawaiian that I am, and I realized that I have a lot of Hawaiian in me, so that was something that I should have been proud of, not ashamed of. So what brought me here is to find my identity, find my place in society, find where I belong.
After my dad passed, I wasn't really in a very good spot. So when I got into the grieving group, it changed my whole outlook of pretty much everything. And I wouldn't even know where I would be without this group. I kind of lost my dad in 2011. As the time went on, my mom found Kiaʻi, and she wanted me to pursue my Hawaiian culture. So I ended up going to Kiaʻi, and now I just love it.
The name of the program is called Kiaʻi, and it means Indigenous Sons Native of Kaʻala. We chose that name for that specific reason because part of the name calls some responsibility.
How this program started was Makalauna and I were at a conference some years ago, a leadership conference, which was sponsored by another program through the center. And wonderful teaching, good activities, good fellowship. And I believe there were several schools at this conference, several hundreds of students. Well, at the end of the day, there was a fight between one boy from one school and another school. Long story short, it was about a girl who had expressed an interest in one boy. So we saw that and we were quite taken by that. More so because what the format of that conference was about, building leaders. And in the midst of this, these two boys are ready to drop. So I looked at Maka and said, we gotta do something about this mindset that these boys have where they can just fight because, they're girls. So we took a leap of faith.
And then somebody brought us the concept that we had something in our culture that we actually did something that we would gather men. So we created a conference after that where only boys with Hawaiian men that would come and teach positive Hawaiian role models to come and share some of their values, some of their skills, some of their training boys. And that was called the Halimua. The Halimua was a place where men would gather and all the rites of passages would be passed on, from spiritual to skills, to what mastery that individual or that practitioner knew, from fishing to carving to navigation.
I've seen how it's affected many of the boys only because of being in the program. You kind of watch them when they come and they're kind of green. And after enough practice and yelling and encouragement, they finally get it.
It taught me discipline and how to respect my elders as well as my brothers and people around me.
It's just teaching us younger men, or even ʻŌpio, the kids from our community, on how to be role models and even how to be good father figures in their own homes. Because one of the kuleanas that they wanted was to have more responsible men in houses to where our community is more safe and respectable.
For many of them now, that with these boys, it shows once they receive their malo, it requires responsibility. Now they're in the house of men. And what that entails is what we share, the men and the kupuna in Kiaʻi.
In this program, I've learned many things. I've learned how to transition from a boy into becoming a man. So we have these two categories. You have Kāne and Kanaka. So a Kāne, he would do is just fight, be real like with each other. And then you have the Kanaka, which is defends. So there's a difference between fight, picking a fight, and fending, but just letting it go, just protecting.
We have utilized the 3F curriculum. That curriculum was developed by trustee and current chairman Thomas Kalukukui. A lot of the activities, it teach us humility, and it really teaches us disciplines and how to be humble.
Lono Okamapua is also sharing with us never to put yourself above others, or being ho'oio, being boastful, being one show off, yeah, having one ego problem, yeah. You always put others before yourself.
I really appreciate all the things that we've been doing and all the programs and all the workshops that we've been doing. It really does impact a lot of the boys, and it makes them find who themselves are, see what they're good at, so that way they know what they're good at, and they can expose that and use that to succeed in life.
It changed my attitude towards how I talk to people, how I interact with people. Just this program overall just changed my life.
Uncle Lyle, Uncle Maka, Uncle Kiaʻi, all of them, they've always been there for me, and so glad that I got to be mentored by all of them, all in different ways. And they're a good example of what Kanaka Hawaii should be and what is.
I'm gonna pursue my military career. My mom wants me to go to the Navy, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna go up there for college or something, play football, and then just go to officers candidate school, so I can basically follow in the footsteps of my papa.
Now we have an area, a venue where these boys can. It's not about me. It's about the greater good. It's about our nation. It's about our community. It's not about me anymore. It's about Kiaʻi, and it's about my community.
How it will help me is it shows me the discipline, because in the military you need discipline, you need order in whatever. And by me going to Kiaʻi, it showed me that. And it showed me that I have to listen, and I have to take certain responsibility for me and for people around me.
And I pretty much has found my place as one of Kiaʻi, as one of the older ones in the group, to lead the younger ones, just be there for them.
Okay. Halala.
Mahalo, Kanoa, for that. No
problem.
Just
So-
let everybody know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them know. So gang,
Cool.
I really appreciate your time. I gotta step out, so I'm gonna leave the rest of the questions and Ike Hopena to Brother Maka. I have a
Mahalo, Kanoa.
family funeral to go to, so I gotta catch up. I gotta go mokulele. We gotta go.
Yeah, be well. Malama pono e kanaka. So just wanted to share you. Still get your screen. let me try and see if I can. I just wanted to share on the last as we get closing thoughts, and then we have question and answers. Just closing thoughts for everyone. Let me see if I can do this. You know, it's about connection. It's about pilina to the young men, their connections with internal and external spirit and mana. It's about connection to our indigenous birthright, language, access to native resources like plants, animals, aina. Aina includes heavens, that above us, that which we tread upon, and that which we go into the ocean to refresh ourselves or get food and sustenance. Access to intellectual properties such as navigation, literature, the mo'olelo, the stories on politics and science is important. And we tell them through the stories that we have that was shared to us and that we pass on to them. With these connections, we give them kulana and kuleana. So kuleana, as I shared again, it's more than just responsibility. It's the deeper sense of that is I'm doing it to continue to build the connection where, and kulana is, it's something that we do within our family, or there's something that we do because it's our role that was passed on from that which is in the mua, or in your hale, or in your home. These responsibilities is the ways of Hawaii that we feel that they need to learn. So that they confidently know their kulana, their role in their lahui or in Hawaii, and then beyond Hawaii. So when we give them these foundational values, that when they have to make good decisions as an executive or a CEO or as a principal or as a teacher or as a farmer, they make great decisions or best decisions with what they've learned. One of the things we need to let our men out there know is that we need to be present. Our men here that is watching amongst us here. We as men need to be present in the lives of our boys and teach them to strive to live as good people, to work hard, teach them to plant, to surf, to hunt, to fish, to go into the ocean, to malama the waters that feed us and feed our ocean. Give them the opportunities to learn whatever their hearts and minds and na'au wants them to learn, and learn alongside with the kamaliʻi. We also cannot forget to play hard, play with a purpose, play to connect and enjoy life, not just play for no purpose, because that sometimes lead to small ke, remember. And many times a lot of small ke mentality gets our boys into trouble. Teach them to be proud and be proud with them. That's something we strive to share. Engagement, we need to have boys engaged, not only with each other, but to positive mentors out there. Engage in the aina, engage in kupuna. Boys need this, what I call guiding force, or having an overarching presence or a greater influence, what I like to call spiritual guidance. This will bring forth a sense of belonging and identity. It helps boys understand their place in the world and the values that they should uphold. It can further provide guidance, support, navigating life challenges. It offers a source of strength and comfort, especially during difficult times. And sometimes, many of our boys, just to let you know, they don't feel their voices are heard. And many times they feel like they're invisible. So the engagements we feel is important because it also brings forth moral and ethical principles to help boys develop strong sense of really what is right and what is wrong. Sometimes it's so confused today. I mean, I live Waiʻanae. There's been a lot of shootings recently in our neighborhood, and in our community. And it's like they've forgotten what is right and wrong. Like, life is not important. And to take someone's life isn't important, is there's no worth. So the connections also, this guidance can foster resilience and coping skills. And we feel this is important because I hold ʻaha ʻŌpio Kāne conferences in the past. And I used to have from 50 to 500 boys in a conference. And I would ask them this question: how many of you ever thought of suicide? Half of them raised up their hands. Half. When I saw that, I said, every time I have an ʻaha ʻŌpio Kāne conference, I'm going to bring the topic about suicide. And having them understand these things. I'm just, this is the one slide, the one that you guys see. I'm just, Ike Hopena is closing thoughts. I'm just sharing all of these with you. That when they start to develop this part, that they can feel, they can traverse to some of those challenges that make second guess that I should hurt myself or hurt others around me. That fosters that resilience. And one thing we teach them also in the mua, which sometimes people are not familiar with, is this practice of, if you're not sure and you don't know time and place, it's okay to ask. Because if you're confused, then you're just going to be more confused. So we give them those opportunities and space to share and us learn with them. And that's a new practice because a lot of the time is pa'akawa hana me kalima. Let's close and silence our mouth and just work with our hands. And by doing, we can start to learn. Yes, that is a practice that still happens, but we also have the practice of we need to kilo, observe. And if we're observing as good mentors, we can see, that boy needs a little bit more kukua, more help. So overall, this holistic kanaka development, boys grow into well-rounded individuals with strong sense of identity, values, and purpose. So they journey from small K to big K, from Kāne to Kanaka. So mahalo nui. With that being said, we're going to go to the last slide. So there's questions. So Kanoa lives on Molokai. I'm in Waiʻanae. So the two programs regarding the boys are in these locations, on Molokai and in Waiʻanae. So if you feel that you have boys that would like to participate, or that like to get this type of learning in the MUA concept and the Hoʻokanaka framework, please, you can call our Malama line and they will send the information to either Kanoa or myself, Makalauna Feliciano. So with that being said, I would like to open the floor. We have a few minutes for any questions. Oh, I didn't get to read it. Yeah, the recording will be shared with you folks. For the slides, I still gotta check on that one. That one I would have to check with Loki if I can do those kind of things, but and check with Kanoa. I didn't get to ask him. We didn't give that, but the information is on the recording. What are the ages of the boys that can participate? So currently, we're taking them from 7th grade to 12th grade. Previously, because we're starting to rebuild, because we took a pause for a bit, and we are building some boys currently right now. We just restarted last year, as we was focusing on our 2045 vision. So with that being said, we did previously, as you saw in the video, some young boys. We had like 9, 10 around that time when they ka'i mua. So and just to reiterate, the ka'i mua ceremony and the ritual is when they earn their malo. So if they didn't wear their malo in our training, you cannot wear your malo until you ka'i mua. For us, then it becomes pageantry. You're only using it without the responsibility of becoming and doing and working for becoming a man, a kanaka for your family and your community. So they're in our group, they're not allowed to wear a malo until they've earned the right to go into the mua and ka'i mua. So we use that as a guide. So it's not just something that you wear casually. When you put them on, there's a lot of responsibility. Let's see. Oh, you wanted to talk about the ku. Somebody wanted ku and hina values. They wanted to go back to that slide. Okay. Let's see if I can do that. You know, I'm not. Oh, there we go. I have Loki. Who is really good at getting that for me. Yeah, so it goes further up right there. So, and these attributes and the queen hina, it comes from the attributes of when we look at the chants and stories of Ku and the one of and attributes of hina. And that's how we looked at. This is how we and were shared to us in our training. The wide left side is hina and right side is Ku. You can take a screenshot of that or not. I hope that helps. We do meet in Waiʻanae. I'm sorry if I might have missed some people. We do meet in Waiʻanae. So if you call, we do meet every Wednesdays, practically for my group, every Wednesdays from 4 to 7 at night. And the boys come. We have faithful boys that continuously are building their first year and their rites of passage. So they haven't gone to ka'i mua yet, and they haven't gotten their malo yet, but they're committed to being our next practitioners for our family and the community. How can we access posters or other materials to post in our classrooms? I guess we can get that to Compassionate Ko'olau Poko and maybe make a flyer with the information and they can send it out. Is that a good way? Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Did I miss anything? If not, I would like to close, if it's okay, because it's at that time. And I'm just gonna do a pule of life, and so those might know this pule. You may do so as well. E ka ua la I he akua e nana mai ka mau pula pula e ola ka niko a hau maka i ole a palala o hala a kau i ka puane ane alai lola we aku oe a mako i ke alo wake a e. Mahalo kako, be well, have a great, safe rest of your day and rest of your week. E kanaka kako.
Mahalo everyone for coming, and mahalo Maka for doing all of this for us. We're so grateful to all the work that you and Kanoa have been doing, and just so grateful. Thank you so much. Bella, you want to say anything?
Yeah, no, just mahalo kako. And again, the recording will be on our website very soon. And so thank you for spending your afternoon with us. I hope this was enlightening. I'm enlightened by all of this. And again, mahalo Makalauna and Kanoa for the work that you're doing. So please reach out to them if you are interested. They're here. Mahalo. Lamaikai, everybody.
Yeah, who knows out there, if you get men out there that interested, connect.
Aye.
Because we cannot do it alone to change our Hawaii.
Yes.
We need as much as men as possible.
That's right.